Hey, everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. I'm actually going to do something. Shout out to my friend, Lane. This video is for you because we're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons here. The Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, have had an unbelievable season in the NBA. Like, they have really had a remarkable, remarkable season. And as you guys can see, I'm trying to pull up the standings here as I'm recording this video. The Detroit Pistons, as we currently sit, are the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. And if you told me day one of the regular season back in October that the Detroit Pistons would not be in the play-in tournament, they would be a top 6 seed sitting right now. They are sitting a game out of 4th and being in position to host a home playoff series is nothing short of remarkable. That being said, I don't think J.B. Bickerstaff should win Coach of the Year because Kenny Atkinson has the Cavs at 48-10 and on the verge of passing last year's win total. They've won 8 in a row. They go to Boston on Friday night. But that being said, I was thinking about this today as the Pistons beat the Boston Celtics in their own building. Granted, it was without Jaylen Brown, but still very impressive for Detroit to win this. I think the Detroit Pistons are what we wanted the San Antonio Spurs to be this year with Victor Wembanyama. I think everybody was expecting the Spurs to make this gigantic leap. Wemby in his second season, really vaulting San Antonio to the next level and putting them firmly in the playoff discussion. They're probably not going to make the playoffs because Victor Wemby is out for the year. They did make a significant trade for De'Aaron Fox. They have a good rookie in Stephon Castle, but this is not working out. It's kind of I'll look at the standings right now. San Antonio currently sits 3 spots out, and they're 22 games out of first, but they are, I believe, 5.5 games out of the 10 spot. So they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the play-in. But I think everybody going into this season pinpointed San Antonio as that team that, hey, we want to make that gigantic leap and be like, kind of effectively like America's team, or like the team that, the young team that you rally behind and see that can make some noise. And, there's always that one pesky team in the NBA every single year. Like it was the Sacramento Kings a couple years ago with Mike Brown. And they went all the way up to the 3 seed, the whole light the beam. And they were able to host a first round series. It was the best. I think it was the first time the Kings had made the playoffs in like 15 years. It was crazy. So I think a lot of people expected the Spurs to be that team this year, or, fair or not fair, maybe because it's the Western Conference, it wasn't reasonable, but a lot of people expected the Spurs to make that leap. I think the Pistons are the team that everybody wanted the Spurs to be. And seeing them right now, they are basically percentage points behind the Milwaukee Bucks, who before the season were pinpointed and have been since Giannis has been like the upper echelon player, and they obviously traded for Damian Lillard. Their title aspirations have kind of dwindled a little bit. They're not at the same level since they won the championship, but Milwaukee's always been labeled as a title contender. You've got the Indiana Pacers. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Pistons are 1 game back of them. Again, the Detroit Pistons are on the verge of potentially not even just they are clear by 4.5 games of Orlando, who's in the 7 hole, which is the play-in tournament. They keep playing basketball like this. They've won 8 in a row. Like, this team is freaking impressive. They really are. So I don't want people to go on this channel and watch my video about Kenny Atkinson easily being the Coach of the Year as any form of disrespect, because I do want to recognize that this Detroit Pistons story is one of the great stories in the NBA this year, because they went from nothing to something. But that being said, Cleveland Cavaliers, again, you're looking at 48-10. They're 27-4 at home. They are averaging 120, almost 123 points a game. And they're beating teams by almost 12 points a game. It's just like I said, if we're comparing stories, but it's a different category of story. We're talking about best team in the league to one of the best stories in the league. And the Detroit Pistons are easily one of the best stories in the NBA this year. And I think a large reason why is like they came from nowhere. Like this was like some people thought maybe in a year or two they'd make the jump. This is a year or two early, which is outstanding for and Jaden Ivey, one of their key players, is out for the season. Like he had a significant injury, but they've had young guys, veteran guys actually be able to contribute. And I give a ton of credit to JB Bickerstaff landing on his feet after being, like it was kind of the end of the road. It was like a mutual parting with the Cavs. And he goes in division, like literally like, a couple states over and it makes it matter. But I think it's because I think a lot of people wanted to pinpoint that up and coming team that was going to make a statement, and everybody thought it was going to be the Spurs, and it's the Pistons this year. So congratulations to Lane. Congratulations to Ryan Field, one of my good friends in the business. Robbie Triano, one of my great friends in the business. Very happy for you. Detroit's a good city. It's a good basketball team. Again, like I said, this is not my previous videos about Kenny Atkinson are not meant to disrespect anything. So congratulations on this. And I think it's one of the best stories in the NBA. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.